FlossTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin, and this is my channel, Lady Robins, where I talk about cross stitching. So this is the FlossTube channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm thrilled that you have found me and that you're here with me. And if you're a returning friend and subscriber, welcome back. I'm just as happy to have you here with me. This is FlossTube number 119, and today is the 21st of July. I'm going to tell you right now, I got back less than 24 hours ago from our 2-week vacation to Hawaii. So I might look a little tan, I might not. I'm of Scandinavian descent, so I pretty much go from pink to pale. I don't really tan very much, so I might have a little bit of a tan. My body still thinks I'm on Maui time, so I'm tired, and I thought I could just go to bed right now. And then I thought, you know what? I owe y'all a floss tube. So I went into the kitchen, I rooted around for my mug of the day, and you guys, I decided we needed Waikiki as our mug of the day. So Waikiki mug of the day, this is a half calf, half decaf. What have I got? Vanilla iced latte. That's what I've got in here, because this is the only thing that's going to keep me awake until a reasonable time so I can go to bed and get on Seattle time again. So welcome to my channel. Grab your beverage. I am scattered. I don't even know for sure what I'm going to talk about except for two stitched pieces. I definitely have got 2 stitched pieces to show you. I have a finish, not a fully finished, but I've got a finish to show you. And then I have a couple of things that are kitted up. And so I thought I would show you what my plans are for the end of July and maybe the beginning of August. I can't believe I'm saying the word August already. Doesn't that freak you out? It freaks me out a little bit. Anyway, before we get rolling, let's have our beverage, shall we? Let's have the beverage. Ah, that's what I needed. I need the beverage. All right, so it has been, I looked back, it has been a month since I was able to come on and chat with you about cross stitching. There have been a few changes in things around the house here, so I know life updates aren't everybody's cup of tea, so I will hold the life updates to the end, and we'll start with the stitching. So what I finished it right before I went on vacation, and it's right over here. I finished a berry, and I have showed this on Instagram, but I haven't shown it here on FlossTube. And this is one of the Erica Michaels summer berries in the summer berry chart. This is one of 3 in the chart, and so I picked this guy. This is on just 32 count white, nothing fancy linen, 32 count white linen, and I used almost all the called for floss. Where I had to make a substitution is this this color right here, which kind of surrounds the cocktail. I can't remember what the called for was, but it did not show up on this white fabric. And funny story, I was trying to decide between one of 2 berries to stitch. I wanted to get one stitched before I left, which I was able to accomplish. And this is actually the fabric that I had picked out for the other berry I was going to stitch. And this one, I think I was going to stitch it on kind of a light oceany blue color, I think is what I had selected. And I started stitching it, and then I looked down and I realized I'd picked up the wrong color. So I just kept stitching. This was a super sweet, fun little stitch. I love those flip-flops. Let me tell you, I have spent 2 weeks in flip-flops and it has been divine. Oh, I remember why I like wearing flip-flops in the summer. It's so fun. So anyway, we've got the flip-flops, we've got flamingos, sunglasses, of course a sailboat, which we all know how I feel about sailboats. We've got a nice cocktail, of course our sun and our waves. This is a perfect chart. It just encapsulates all the things I love about summer. So I'll be turning that into a berry just as soon as I can. So I've got that done. The other thing that I've got sitting back here on my ironing board, I'll just take a second, I'll grab them up real quick. And I don't know if I showed this before because, like I said, it's been a month since I've seen y'all, but I cut out my this is from Prairie Schooler. These are the sunny days charts from that. There's like 8 or 9 smalls in that chart. I stitched up all of the beachy ones. So these are all ironed, and I've got the interfacing on the back. So then I just need to sit down and decide how big I'm going to make them into pillows. And I think I've got my, again, excuse me, I'll just show you my backside. I know I feel like I've showed you this fabric, but on these, some of them I'm going to add fabric, so I'm going to make them tall. And then some of them I'm going to add fabric to the side and I'm going to make them horizontal. So I think I'll do 2 tall and 2 horizontal. So I want to get those up and in my house. I live in the Seattle area. I live in a little suburb called Kent, which is south of Seattle, and summer starts here in July. So I'm right on the beginning of summer here in Seattle. We get great weather through the end, all the way through the end of September, sometimes even into the first week of October. So our summer is so much later than everybody else's, but you know, that's what happens when you're on the 49th parallel, right? We're a little bit behind the curve. What was interesting being in Maui is, you know, Maui's right, you know, along that equator line. Sunset every single night is at 7:20. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't move. 7:20, the sun goes down. There you have it. Now here in Seattle in the winter, sunset can be as early as 4:30 p.m. in the winter. And then, you know, in the summer, we can have sunset as late as 9-10 p.m. and those are my favorite days. I love the longer days and getting to have extra daylight and extra time outside to do all the things. So anyway, I just find Maui so fascinating that yeah, there's you know, no deviation. Sunset 7:20, sun goes down. It's beautiful. I will tell you our last night on Maui, so our last night was Tuesday night and we flew out Wednesday afternoon. We went down to the beach out in front of our condo and my husband and I were sitting there and there was a really nice couple sitting right next to us. They were from Alberta, Canada, and the wife just, struck up a conversation with us, which was so delightful. And she said, now, is this your first time here? And we're like, oh no, we've been here quite a bit, but, this is our last evening. And she goes, well, you picked the perfect evening. She goes, and the perfect time. The turtles are straight out on the water in front of us. And I have seen pictures of turtles out in the water. We have been going to this particular condo since I was a senior in high school, which was, I graduated in 1980, so you guys can do the math and you'll know how old I am, right? And she said, yeah, there's at least 4 turtles, maybe 5, right out in the surf in front of us. And I'm like, what? I've never seen the turtles out in front of the condo like that. And she said, if you go half a mile down the road, there's a beach that they've kind of set aside as like a turtle refuge, and the turtles nest there every evening. They come in and they swim down to that beach. And she said, yeah, if you're down there in the morning at low tide, you can see them all sitting down there sleeping on the beach. And I was like, I have been here over and over and over again. And anyway, my thoughts got jumbled because when I worked in an airline, I had flight benefits. And so if mom and dad weren't using the timeshare, I'd go over, I'd take a buddy and off we'd go, right? And I'd never heard that the turtles slept half a mile down the beach from the condo that we always stay in. I was so excited to hear that and bummed to find out that I wasn't going to have time to go see turtles sleeping on the beach. Well, let me tell you, next time we go, I'm boogieing straight down there because I've got to see a turtle sleeping on a beach. That would just be like bucket list stuff for me. So anyway, there's one little factoid about what I learned on our recent trip to Maui. It was super fun. So anyway, that's my finish. Those are things that I finished before and showed you. They're prepped to get turned into pillows. I really wanted to do that task today. I thought, oh, I'll just break out the sewing machine. I'm too tired. My brain is like, I don't know, it's like chocolate pudding up in there. So I decided maybe I should wait until I'm a little more awake and, not so tired from that long airplane ride. That airplane ride is no joke, you guys. It's 5.5 hours. It's forever. Okay, so back to active stitching. So what have I stitched on since I saw you guys last? One of the things that I'm really pushing for a finish, I want to finish this year, and maybe even in August, because it's super close. I have been working on my Brenda Gervais Red Bird Sampler. And don't forget, I started this in February for my birthday. So we created a hashtag together, Red Robin Sal. And I think we put the year on it, 2022. So I think it's Red Robin Sal 2022. So if you're stitching this, use that hashtag so I can see your progress. And I'm creeping towards the finish. So here is where I'm at. I did a really lousy job of stuffing it in my bag. This is a wrinkled nightmare. Sorry, guys. But when I picked this up the last time, before I started pushing on this, I was down here in this arch. And so I completed the arch. I think the village is almost done. I still have to put in finish off the steeple on this building. This basket hadn't even been started, so that's done. That bird is done. That flower's done. I've got to finish. Is that flower? Nope, that flower's finished. So I'm really, really close to a finish. And then I've got 2 potted plants and then some grass along the bottom. So I think this can totally be completed in August. That is my goal. I'm declaring it here between you and me, my friend. I think we can. Oh, there's a flower up here. I haven't finished. And then of course I want to put my initials in here. So anyway, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. There's not that much. And right before we left for vacation, I had decided I was just going to stitch on this pretty much monogamously until I get a finish. And I almost took it with me to Hawaii because I was so close to a finish, but I had other plans for what to take to Hawaii, so I will show you that. That's another one that has got a hashtag. It's Quaker Turtle Sal. So let me grab this guy. So the Quaker Turtle is by RETM. And when I picked this up, I had the head finished. I had this body Quaker, one flipper, and then half of the other flipper. That's where it was when I picked it up to go to Maui. So I have been stitching like a fiend on this thing. It is in one DMC color. I'm doing DMC, what does that show? 3808 is the color I'm stitching it. And so when I was in Maui, I had two bobbins with me and then another unbobbinated DMC floss. I used up both of those bobbins. I wound by hand the third DMC floss, and you know, I'm almost halfway done with that bobbin, I think. But anyway, here is my Quaker Turtle. So let's see, if I do it that way, that'll be better. So as you can see, I finished the flipper on the other side, and I finished 1, 2, 3, 4 Quakers, and I am starting on my 5th Quaker way down here. So I got a ton of stitching done on my Quaker Turtle, and I couldn't be happier with how much progress I was able to make. Let me tell you, stitching something in a single color of floss, oh, that stitches up quick because you're not consulting the chart and looking for the floss and, you know, switching the floss in your needle. It just is so fun to stitch. So there I am on my Quaker Turtle. Now I got to tell you, there are a couple of errors, I guess, on the Quaker Turtle chart. So where is it? So in this middle Quaker, you know, the biggest body Quaker, if you look on the picture that's on the front of the chart, these little petals, for lack of a better word, don't show up on the picture. Because I was looking at the front of the chart and I'm like, hey, that doesn't look like what I just stitched. And I looked and looked and looked, and yeah, it's charted on the chart, but it is not, if you can see in there, it's not in the picture. So that gave me a bit of a scare. There's a couple minor differences between the picture of the turtle on the front of the pattern and what's on the chart. So I'm just going with what's charted. I did go over to, I don't know if she's got a website or a blog, but I went over there to see if she's got like an oopsie on her, whatever it is, website or blog. And she didn't have anything called out about the Quaker Turtle, but I just want you to know that because, like I said, it gave me a bit of a scare because I'm like, what the heck? They don't look the same, and they don't. But you know, be that as it may, I am thrilled with my Quaker Turtle. So that is where I'm at on Quaker Turtle, and I am not gonna bury this because I keep thinking you know, if I got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, if I got 5 Quakers done in the 2 weeks that I was in Maui, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 Quakers left. So while I'm not going to turn into a monogamous stitcher, I think this can completely be finished by the end of the year, and that would rock my boat. So I haven't quite figured out how to factor that into my stitching, but I definitely want this done by the end of the year. So yeah, I don't exactly know how I'm gonna, like I said, I don't know how I'm gonna factor that in, but that is one of my goals for the remainder of 2022 is finish the turtle. So that is what I stitched. I took a third thing over to Maui, but I didn't stitch on it. And there's a reason. The reason is my fabric wasn't cut. I think last time I went on and on about how on my Snowflower Diaries I had cut all my fabric and they were all ready to go, and I just had to pick them up and start stitching, and I'm a liar pants on fire because I had to buy 2 pieces of the 32 count Lakeside vintage pecan butter. And apparently when I got the first piece, I cut it into the right sizes, and when the second piece showed up, I didn't do that. So I've got my big hank, you know, still nicely preserved in my plastic baggie, and it's not cut. And I was a little hesitant to, you know, try to McSmith it on the fly in Maui. So in the end, I was like, apparently I'm supposed to just stitch on the turtle. And so that is what I did. However, what that means is I am in serious trouble because I have nothing stitched on the August Snowflower Diary. So I'm hoping that I will have some time tomorrow to cut my piece of fabric, get a zigzag around the edge so I can start this. And this one, don't we always say this, will probably, I think, stitch up fairly quickly because these aren't cross stitches. These are all lazy daisies. So lazy daisies are, they're pretty quick. It's much quicker than, you know, if those were all cross stitches that I had to do. So I'm hoping to prep my fabric tomorrow, so this weekend I can start working on my August Snowflower Diary. Chances are slim that I will get it done by the 1st of August, but I'm hoping to get it done before the end of August. So that's one of the things that I kitted up. I've got a little bit of haul to show you. I went nuts and I ordered a beautiful blue slate linen, 32 count from, I was going to say Leo and Roxy, not Leo and Roxy, Evertote, because I had previously purchased the Winter Quaker pattern by, is it Rosewood? Yeah, Rosewood Manor, and the Leo and Roxy floss conversion. So I am all set for a start on Winter Quakers. And I saw Ellen Reed was on with Caroline off the Grid Needle Arts a couple of days ago on a FlossTube, and oh my gosh, those girls were having so much fun together, and it made me think, oh my gosh, I've now got all the pieces that I need to start my Winter Quaker. So I'm feeling a new start in my future here before we know it. So so that's one thing that came. Another thing that I purchased, my friend Audrey, who is Stitchy Witch 42, and there's her little business card. she is making these adorable little floss books. So it's got a hard cover and a hard back. It's got these really cool jump rings. It has a library card, which of course it does my heart good. And then she has floss away bags here inside the book, so you can kit up a project. I just thought this was so clever that I decided, when Audrey posted it on Instagram that it was for sale, I decided that I needed one of these in my life. So if you're not following Audrey, again, she's Stitchy Witch 42 on Instagram. She'll periodically post these for sale. It's a really good price point. I loved it. I think I bought it on a Monday, and I think it was in my mailbox by Wednesday or Thursday. Super fast. I mean, she turned it around, and I couldn't be happier. So Audrey, if you're watching, I got it and I love it. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to using that. And the next thing I'm going to show you, I might use this stitch book for this thing that I've got kitted up. So let me show you the other thing that I was toying with, taking this to Hawaii, and in the end I decided not to. But this is a kit I've showed you before. It's by Rivera's. It's their little C box. And so it's got, of course, the chart, and then it's got your little box. It has your floss in here. It's got finishing fabric, and then these things, oh my gosh, I mean, just so sweet. These things fit down here in your box, and then of course your pillow will fit right in here. It's also got the adorable wooden buttons. It's got some jute in there. It's really cool. So I pulled all of my flosses, and I've got a little floss bling from Chris Yo of As the Yo Flies. So I kitted this up, and who knows, I might put the floss in my new book from Audrey. I think this will be a super sweet little stitch, and I love the box. So I'm itching for a start on this thing as well. But it's kitted, it's ready to go. So when I get there, I'll get there. Let's see, what else have I got to show you? Oh, on my last video, which was over a month ago, I had 5 charts that I wanted to pass on to you guys. And I pulled the winners. So I'm going to just go through these quickly. Just a reminder, in my show notes, there is a link to a Happy Mail form. And this is where you would access, it's a Google Doc, put in your name, your address, and then if you have a name different from your mailing name, like my name on Instagram on FlossTube is Lady Robbins, make sure you note that, so if you want to get a giveaway, I know Lady Robbins is Robin Schultz, right? So make sure you fill out that Happy Mail form, because I want to not have to hunt you down. I just want to look in the form and mail out your stuff. So the reason I'm saying that is I actually had 2 people that I drew for a giveaway, and they weren't on the form. I looked and looked and looked. I looked like 5 times to make sure I didn't miss it. They weren't on the form. So anyway, I just redrew, found somebody that was on the form. So if you have not done it, please, please, please enter your information into that Happy Mail form and you know, if and when I do more giveaways, you will get your stuff right away. So anyway, without further ado, for Superior Bees, that was a chart from one of the Black Needle Society. I think it was the Steampunk box. Yep. So Wanda Greer, you're the winner for that. I'll get that in the mail. The next one that I had is Beauty and the Beast, and Rebecca Felker. You won this one. So I'll get these mailed out just as soon as I can, which in all honesty will probably be sometime next week, like Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to work tomorrow. I don't have time to get to the post office. So anyway, number 3 was actually 2 charts that were From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And so this goes to Robin Selby. So Robin, these are heading your way. Number 4 was an older sampler, really sweet little sampler called Southern Sampler, and Debbie Mason. This is heading your way. And then last but not least, I had a cute little Christmas chart from Sisters and Best Friends, and this one's going to Paula Sizemore. So congratulations, you guys. I am really happy to send these out to you. Like I said, it'll be next week. I just don't have time to get to the post office tomorrow since it's a work day for me, but I'll get them to you as soon as I can. What else? I didn't read one book on vacation. Can you believe it? You probably can because of the amount of stitching I got done on the Quaker turtle. So I have no book recommendations. That's not true. I've got one. I spotted a book when I was out goofing around. We went to the Baldwin, somebody else, Sugar Cane Museum on Maui. And in their gift shop, they had a nonfiction book called, what was it? The 3-year swim club. I think that's what it was. The 3-year swim club. It was about a swimming team on Maui and how these kids just, took the swimming world by storm. And it just sounded fantastic. So I think I've seen it in my public library. So I am going to get that on my, TBR, my to be read reading list. So I would suggest that sounded like a whole lot of fun. It kind of reminded me of the book about the athletes that went over to Germany right before World War II started, when the Nazis were coming in power. Cannot remember the name of that book right now. But anyway, for some reason, it just, kind of had that, underdog type feel to it. And it just, rang a couple bells for me. So anyway, there's a book recommendation for you. It sounds good to me. Okay, so life updates. If you are here for the stitching and nothing else, sayonara. On to life updates. Our trip over to Hawaii was really nice. It was much needed. We spent the first 3 days on Oahu, and we went over to the memorial over there for the Pearl Harbor Memorial. It's more than just going to see the Arizona. The battleship, the Mighty Mo, is over there, the USS Missouri. We spent so much time on the Mighty Mo. I'm sure people, thought there was something wrong with us, because I feel like I read every plaque. I looked at every piece of memorabilia. I looked in every stateroom. I poked my nose into, you know, every chief's office. It was so fascinating. My son had the best time. He's kind of a military naval aficionado. He loves that sort of stuff. So when we were over there, like I said, we spent at least 3 hours on the Mighty Mo. That was fantastic. If you guys have ever watched that science fiction movie Battleship, the Mighty Mo is in that movie. And so after we got over to Maui one night, I'm like, I'm watching Battleship. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to kind of have that connection. It's not the greatest movie ever, but for some reason, it just cracks me up, and you know, it hits all the right campy notes for me. So anyway, we went on the Mighty Mo. We went on a little submarine, just this mini submarine. I think it was called the Bowfish, I think. So, and that was just self-guided. You just, you know, walked through it. It didn't take very long. So we went on that. There were 2 museums over there. I can't remember their official names, but there were 2 museums there. So we went through both of those museums. And then after we got all that done, we had been there since about 8 o'clock in the morning. We thought, all right, it is time for us to go take the little transport over to the USS Arizona Memorial. Guess who missed the last boat? That would be us. We went over there and did not see the Arizona Memorial. We spent so much time on all these other things that we didn't get there. Which just means we'll have to go back. But it was so crazy, because I do remember somebody saying, you've got to make sure that you hit, you know, the last transport. It's at 3:30, and somehow that information just flew out of our heads. Nobody thought about it again, and we walked over, and it was about 3:40, and there was nobody there. And I said, did we miss the last transport over to the Arizona? And the guy goes, yeah, it's at 3:30, and you need to make reservations. And I'm like, okay, we didn't do this part right. But the parts that we did do right, it was totally worth it. So so that was super fun. When we were over on Maui, I think I've talked about this before, one of the things that we love to do is we love to go snorkeling. We love to see the turtles out in the water, like I talked about earlier. And a big tropical storm was blowing, you know, way out in the ocean, past the Hawaiian Islands, and we could not snorkel. There's an app, you know, or a website, the Maui Snorkel Report. I think that's what it is, Maui Snorkel Report. Anyway, they rate your water from, you know, 0 being stay home and play Scrabble to 10 is the perfect day. And so it's like, until you hit 5, they're like, don't go. It's too dangerous. Just don't go. We never got above a 2. This tropical storm came through, huge record waves. We had swells like you can't believe. On the south end of Maui, it was really crazy. We were at one of the beaches watching these huge waves come in, and there was a guy standing there, and he said, if you want to see some amazing surfing, go to the south end of Maui, go through the lava fields, and the swells there are 30 and 40 feet high. And the guy was not kidding. There's a breakwater that's 40 feet high. The waves were going over the breakwater. And he says there's professional surfers out there that are surfing waves like they've never seen here in years. Like, you know, the guy put a number on it. I don't know. He said 35 or something crazy. It might be. How do I know? What do I know, right? I'm not a surf person. So anyway, we went down there and it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. The water came in over, we stayed in Kihei over the South Kihei Road, on the other end. And I mean, it was really crazy. And they were like, yeah, the undertow is intense. You don't want to go out there. So we didn't. So we just dinked around. We hardly ever go to the swimming pool at the condo. We were in the swimming pool because that was where the safe water was. So, so that was fun. And then the other thing that happened right before we left, on my last FlossTube, I had told you that we were taking the dog to the doggy oncologist, and they told us that she had, you know, basically incurable cancer. It was melanoma on her gum, and she was a black dog, and they said black dogs have pink gums. And we've never heard this before, but apparently those pink gums are very susceptible to melanoma cancer, and that's what she had. It was super fast growing. So after we saw the doggy oncologist, we just knew she wouldn't make it until we got home, and we couldn't leave our pet sitter with a dog that was in distress. So we had to schedule the appointment to help her cross the Rainbow Bridge. Anyway, so we did that. Okay, anyway, hopefully I've got myself pulled back together. I've got some great pictures of those great big huge waves on Maui, so I think I'll end the video with fabulous waves. I tried to take videos of those surfers out on those 30 and 40 foot waves. I'll see what they look like, and if they look like anything, I'll insert those as well. So I know this was a shorter one. It didn't have a lot of stitching to show, but I just wanted to come on. I wanted to thank you all for being part of my Stitchy tribe. Also, if you're in the Seattle area, there is a stitching meetup on Sunday. Check the Pacific Northwest Stitchers Facebook page for all of the details. I don't know that I'm going to be there this time myself. We're talking about going out to the cabin because it's been a couple of weeks and the grass might need cutting. So if I'm not there, just know I'm there in spirit. I'm with you, and I will see you sooner as opposed to later. Hopefully, doing a video once every month will not become a habit. I'm hoping to get back to a place where I can do it every week, but at least every 2 weeks, you guys. That's my goal. So I will catch you all later. Have a great rest of your day. Happy stitching. Don't forget, when you're stitching, to stitch happy, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye friends.